food is an addiction. And if it wasn't, we'd all lose the last 15. And it's the hardest addiction. I've been at this now for 40 years. So it's the hardest addiction to knock off because if I'm an alcoholic, I don't have to go to a bar.
Today on the We Share podcast, owner of Club Apple, Steve Vucovich, and general manager of Club Apple, Brad Vucovich. Welcome to the We Share podcast. I'm Julie.
I'm Alex.
We share ourselves and we provide a platform for others to share.
We believe everyone has a purpose and a story to tell.
And we're back on the We Share podcast. I'm Julie.
And I'm Alex.
And we have some great guests.
We do. We have two guests. Mm-hmm. I feel like they're my fitness family right here in studio today. We've got Steve Vucovich, the founder, the owner of Club Apple here in town, and the general manager, his son, Brad Vucovich. And they are always at the club, taking care of what needs to happen. And no better guests to have than for our January Wellness Month than the top club in town.
Welcome, gentlemen. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's jump into it. January is the month. I'd have to imagine that Club Apple was incredibly busy over the last month. Tell us about Club Apple. Just give us the idea of what's available at Club Apple.
So we're a big multi-purpose facility. So we have steam room, sauna, jacuzzis, 3 pools, and a big multi-purpose gymnasium and workout facility.
Fabulous. How long you been around?
So this April will be coming up on 40 years. So a long time.
That's a heritage for sure.
It is.
Well, where did it all start? Where did Club Apple come from?
Well, we started down in the Shuppenby Plaza in the Rogers Hotel.
Yeah, which must have looked so much different back then than what it looks like now.
Well, the exterior looks pretty similar. But the interior has changed.
They have done a great job on
remodeling.
remodel.
Yes, they have. Mm-hmm. Yes, they have.
And then from there?
We outgrew that facility and moved to the west side of town in the Albertsons Plaza. And we took over a club that had been, that location had been in and out of business 3 times in the last 5 years. So we decided to keep our name. Even though we were no longer downtown, we didn't want to be affiliated back then with 3 defunct gyms.
Sure.
And so at that point in time, we were there for about 1997 is when we took over the Idaho Falls Health and Racquet Club on the east side of town, which was on the corner of 17th and Woodruff. And that's still the location of our auxiliary tennis facility. And we changed our name at that time from the Downtown Athletic Club to Apple. And subsequently, about 20 years later, we changed it to Club Apple.
Right.
So that's the history.
And I feel like Apple stands for something, right? It's an acronym.
The acronym is always a place people's lives are enhanced.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, I heard that, so I wanted to confirm that.
Yeah, that's correct. And actually, we had a management consultant at the time, back in the late 90s, that it was his idea to change the name. He didn't have an acronym. He just thought that back then, Apple a day keeps the doctor away. That was one of the things that, everybody talked about. And on top of that, not that it works in today's digital world, but it put us number 1 in the yellow pages.
Yeah, you guys were Apple before Apple was Apple.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's a story right there.
Yeah, all on its own. Okay, so I feel like now in East Idaho, there's some sort of gym on every corner. I feel like there's a lot of pop-up gyms everywhere.
There should be.
Yeah.
Just because, people need to work out.
People need to work out. But back then, I would have to imagine you were just one of the only ones available. So what put you in the fitness game?
Well, the YMCA was there. And then we had the Idaho Falls Health and Racquet Club. We had the Rec Center. We had Sandy's Aerobics, And we had, who else was available at that time?
Sandy's
one of-
Aerobics, was that the Sandy that taught at
Yes.
Club Apple?
No, different
Okay,
Sandy.
different Sandy.
Different Sandy. And let's see.
I can't remember the one that was in that plaza too. That was
I thought there was there. Well, yes, it
Maybe
was
like a weightlifting gym?
Jazzercise.
Okay.
Jazzercise, yeah. And so those were the 4 competitors at that time. Now we have over 30.
Yeah,
Oh,
dozens.
yeah. There's
yeah.
so many.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's quite competitive. In fact, I would say that our math shows that while the national average says that about 23% of the adult population in the United States, 16 years and above, is a member of something. In Idaho Falls, I would say, in the surrounding area, it's more like 35%.
Okay.
Yeah, much higher market penetration than the national average.
Yeah, I would have guessed even higher just
Yeah.
because my life
Yeah,
revolves
we know
around the
so many
gym.
people who do
Yeah.
physical exercise. So you have, though, been able to really set yourself apart from all of those others. You might have 30 plus competitors, but there's really not another facility like Club Apple.
No. Yeah.
Well, that's true from a facility standpoint, but a treadmill's a treadmill.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter. There's $80 treadmills out there, and then there's $15 treadmills out there. And I'm talking about the cost of a gym membership.
Mm-hmm.
So, really, it's not just about the equipment. Yes, we have a lot of amenities, and those amenities are extremely expensive, and not only to build, but to pay the cost on the upkeep.
Yeah,
and-
maintain.
Yeah, maintain, and then your energy bills. So people don't want to know what our energy bills are.
I don't want to.
The
I'll
city
have
and the gas company are very happy with
anxiety.
us.
I was going
But-
to say, I don't want that weight on my shoulders. I'll just do the regular weights at Club Apple.
Yeah, there
I'm
you go.
sure you could say I would boast that it's community, right? It's getting that accountability, seeing familiar faces. We need that
Mm-hmm.
for fitness.
Well, I'll let Brad expand upon this, but we probably truly are the actual true social networking. And so, I'm a little bit old for that, but I'll let him expand.
Yeah.
Yeah, so-
tell us about it.
Yeah, a little bit about the social side of it too. So that's been one of our biggest aspects, is to get people involved. Obviously, social media, right? And that's kicked off in the last, probably 10 years. I mean, we can probably all remember MySpace when that first came out too, and then MySpace transitioned, kind of got taken over, and then Facebook kind of came out too. So, I always harp on him to try to get billboards taken away, because I feel billboards are a waste of time. It's hard to hit your demographic and your market with a billboard, right? So we use our billboards more for just brand recognition, right? So everybody kind of knows who Club Apple is, and so we use billboards for the brand recognition on here too. So social media is really taking over too. The yellow pages are kind of taking their toll, right? They're gone.
Mm-hmm.
And now we've kind of transitioned over to, Facebook and Instagram and YouTube vids, and, we're trying to play with a little bit of TikTok now that transition's really taken off too. And so it's really getting out there, and our demographic has really changed since COVID too. Now we have a ton of youth that's coming into the facilities. And when I say by youth, I mean 16 to like 23, 24 years old. So that's really hypened up since COVID. So, and I think there's this huge social media push that's been out there for the last 2 or 3 years for youth getting involved in fitness. So everybody wants to be an influencer. Everybody wants to be a trainer, so they can get this quick fix on going on YouTube and finding what they want, following somebody that's doing some weights and some cardio type routines too. And then they follow these people and think that they can do it on their own and this and this. So we tried to tap into that social media and try to give these people direction to try to come to the club and say, okay, yes, it's great to follow somebody too, but we do have some trained professionals, some at the top in the state, that can really help you get on a nutrition, a dietary program, and really get into the fitness and try to help you out with your goals, whether it's weight loss or strength gain or just trying to have overall better health.
Yeah, if you're going to spend the time, at least have it be targeted.
Right.
Don't
Well,
have
and
it.
safety too.
Yeah.
So they're not
Absolutely.
going to get hurt.
Absolutely, too.
I feel like you do some programs with the schools too, like the high schools. Do you have
so we
programs?
try to meet out to the high schools too through like social media, and we'll drop off pamphlets and flyers, and so we tried to make a big push into to get the faculty involved. So if we can get faculty involved, it kind of transitions and trickles down to the students. So we've tried to get a lot of things where we have corporate discounts and corporate memberships for the schools, and hopefully that just kind of entails and they get it down and send out some discounts or free week passes to the students so that we can get them into the gym.
Yeah, I will say I've noticed more teens,
Mm-hmm.
and I love that.
Yeah, it is. It's a
'Cause
big
it's where you
transition
start.
shift right now too, where it is, and they're starting a lot younger, and we're having a lot more parents that are upstairs now with their kids because we allow 12-year-olds to go upstairs as long as they're with an adult. So you're starting to see that dynamic start to play off too, which is really, it's great. So it's very interesting too.
I would have to guess, too, that it's a respectful dynamic because of the history of Club Apple and its prominence in the community. If a 17-year-old is there working out, they're not goofing off. They're actually working
They
out.
actually are, to a point, to an extent.
I mean,
You
there's
know,
there's been
teenagers
a
will be teenagers, right? They like to congregate. So I mean, that's been one of our biggest aspects is trying to cut down the congregation at some of the weights to have gym etiquette. Let's just put it that way, right?
Yeah.
And so that takes time, but eventually that will happen too. And it's been nice because some of these parents have been with us for a long period of time too. So their knowledge and expertise on the weights could be pretty vast, and so they're teaching it to their kids now too, and showing them how to the ropes, and it's been great. It's been a good dynamic.
Great. What else do you think sets you apart from all of those other competitors?
Yeah, so like when I talked about a big multi-purpose facility, so we offer 500 group exercise classes a month that are included in your membership. So it could be from yoga to hip hop dance classes. It could be body pump, power cut, which is weightlifting type things, Zumba classes, any of that kind of stuff too. So that kind of sets us apart from the group X side of it. We have a very vast personal training side of things too. We employ about 25 to 30 personal trainers too. That all have a degree in fitness, nutrition, and kinesiologies, and then we have a big Pilates department too, which is a big deal too. So, and then water aerobics and spinning classes. Those two other things to set us apart from everybody else too. So we hit this side too that we were talking about 30 gyms in the city too, but that coincides too with all the apartment complexes that we also have in town too, right? So you got to count that as some of your competition too, because if it's a nice weight room at some of these apartment complexes, we're in a fight with these people too to try to get them out of there, to get them over to the club also. So there's that dynamic too. But
yeah, definitely the best Pilates and spinning.
Absolutely. Yeah. You mentioned COVID and how that kind of changed things. Expand on that a little bit. What was different? I mean, you guys did close for a while, correct, during COVID?
We closed for about 2 months during COVID.
Yeah. So how did that affect your bottom line? And did you change anything after COVID based upon just trends of people? Like, I think some people built their own. I beefed up my home gym during COVID. So I'm sure that had to affect you in some way. What did COVID do to you guys?
So we shut down from the month of March, I want to say, of 2020 until about the end of May. Was that about when it was?
Yeah.
April, probably. Yeah.
Middle of
It
May,
was
somewhere around
mid-March.
there.
It was announced. 'Cause I
And Idaho
remember
was
where
pretty
I was.
progressive, right, as a state that got things back on track pretty quick, thankfully. Yeah, it hurt the bottom line. We ended up kind of like every other business, filed for some PPP money, right, with those loans to help subsidize some of the offset on that too, which helped. And then we did an airflow system. That was called, what was that called? It starts with an R too. I'm just drawing a blank here.
I remember this.
Revolution.
Yes.
We did radio ads about it.
Yeah, I remember
We did
this.
too. It starts with an R too. I'm just drawing a blank on here too. Well, anyway, we did a huge filtration system too that actually, what does it do? Cleans the air by red light or by infrared
Like
light.
ozone or something.
It actually, and we still have it.
Yeah.
So we still maintain that particular system, and it is it's a hydrogenated peroxide, so that is microlyzed into the air, and it has negative ions, so it sticks to equipment, and so it not only kills airborne while it's in the air, but it also kills germs and viruses on contact. And it's been around for quite some time, but primarily in hospital uses. But in the realm of COVID, there were other manufacturers that came out and offered it, and so all of our rooftop heating and air conditioning units have one of these gadgets.
These units on there.
So.
I mean, you're jogging my memory because I remember us
this
talking
too.
about it and Neil doing endorsements about this.
Yeah, I remember this
Technology.
too. Yeah. So January, big fitness month. People make some lofty goals. In what ways is Club Apple helping people with these goals? What are some things
Tell
that
them
we've
about
got
the
going
intro
on?
special.
Okay, so yeah, first of all, like what our January special is right now is it's since it's our 40-year anniversary, we're charging a $40 enrollment fee, and we're giving away the month of January for free. So no dues till February 1st. So that's to try to get people in, kind of set some goals. But we're offering 2 sessions of personal training with every new client that comes in and signs up. So what that does is gives us some kind of direction. So they talk about their goals, what they want to accomplish, whether it's weight loss, whether it's overall strength, whether it's medical side, anything that's coming from there too. We have a lot of people coming from the Ozempic and Wegovy and all these other things for their GLP-1s that are coming in too, and they need a workout plan. And so we've seen a big push coming in from that too. So we just want to make sure that everybody's set up on their fitness goals, how to obtain these fitness goals over a course of not just 2 or 3 months, but over the course of their lifetime, and how we can make it easy and obtainable. So we're just trying to give them some kind of direction, some tools to be able to handle, the ups and downs of constant weight loss or strength gains or holiday eating or anything like that too, or stresses of everyday life, and then get them involved in something that works for their lifestyle.
Yeah, I think that this is so important because people make these goals, but then if they don't have the tools, that's when they fall off so quickly. And as we learned with the podcast that we did with nurse practitioner Christina Finnerty, how important it is to combine exercise with those GLP-1s that
we've talked about it.
Yeah, that we're getting a lot of people who are skinny fat. Like they lost all their muscle. Yeah. And that's just not maintainable. You're going to not feel great.
You're going to end up with a whole other set of problems.
Yeah, and we've seen some great strides from the GLP-1s, right? And I don't think that's going to stop. I think the peptide industry and the GLP-1 industry, because that's what a GLP-1 is, a peptide.
Yeah.
I think that industry is going to boom. I think it's the future. And it's just coordinating something else that weights and better nutrition with the GLP-1s can really help people. They're seeing some kidney type things with it, liver, enzymes that are increasing in there for better beneficial type stuff, mental clarity, libido. They're seeing appetite suppressant. There's all kinds of. They're also seeing some brain functions that's helping mental clarity, like I talked about also. But without a weight regimen and without proper eating, it's the same thing as getting a tummy tuck or a staple stomach or liposuction or anything like that. 85% of these people are gaining the weight back, right? Because then it's all just coming back.
We've seen it,
and it's all coming back from just improper nutrition, right? So it's just getting these people to find out what works for them, start counting calories until they finally realize what a calorie is and how much it is in certain foods, sharing meals when we go out to eat, because we all know how big the meals are when we go out to eat. And once they get that avenue down to how much is what in calories in certain foods, then I think their life just slowly starts to change too. But lifting weights is a big thing that they need to start doing with the GLP-1s, because it eats up your muscle tissue too, and you're in a huge calorie deficit. Yeah, absolutely.
Is there anything about Club Apple that we haven't covered that you wanted to make sure that we highlighted today?
Well, not necessarily Club Apple, but here we come back to the first of the year and are talking about, resolutions. But, we're a country of resolutions. It's like first of the week, first of the month, first of the year. I'm going to put it off or I'm going to start, but we have series of resolutions. And I guess my point is start your exercise program as soon as you can. Don't wait. And if something comes up in the month of January, then get started in February. If it's February 14th, then start on February 14th. Don't wait another week. Don't wait another month. Don't just, get started. And I'll say one other thing about the GLP-1, and that is that food is an addiction. And if it wasn't, we'd all lose the last 15. I mean, let's face it. So why don't we? Well, it's because I want to have the Snickers. It's more important, just like another drug or any other drug, it's more important for me to have that Snickers bar than that 15-pound weight loss.
It's
right?
a choice. Yeah.
And let alone 40 or 50 or 60 or 100 pounds, right? And it's the hardest addiction. I've been at this now for 40 years. So it's the hardest addiction to knock off, because if I'm an alcoholic, I don't have to go to a bar.
You can stay away from it.
I can divorce myself away from that, but I can't stop eating. You're going to die. So it is really hard to overcome, and that's the reason why, GLP is good to get a person down. Let them understand what portion control is, because that's really what it is. You can't stuff any more food in you. right? Or you'll feel uncomfortable, or whatever that is.
Yeah, they have a negative consequence for once for overeating.
Exactly, and you look at that and you go, it's really important, and all the other systemic biological negatives that being overweight has, from just cardiovascular,
Joints,
Alzheimer. I mean, cancer. I mean, it's all related to being overweight. COVID ate the people that were overweight, predominantly the people that were hospitalized and died were overweight, predominantly. Yeah, you had the one-off marathon runner that died of COVID. Well, that's, that made the news, but the other millions,
right.
Were compromised. Their immune system was compromised, and as well as a lot of their endocrine systems were compromised, prior to, getting COVID. So, but I guess my takeoff of this is that if you either have to get on a regimented exercise program and a regimented nutrition program, meaning just eat well, or you're gonna gain the weight back if you're not on a GLP-1, because it will come back. And if you want to be, if you don't want to be on making that payment the rest of your life, then you finally have to make that break and get off the train. The other thing that I may say is on personal training. Everybody thinks that's, for the elite. It's not. I would say this, that, if you can afford, a fizz drink at $5 3 times a week, in a month's time, you can afford one personal training session, and you go through that for a year, and you've got 12 personal training sessions. Personal training is nothing more than lessons.
Mm-hmm.
People aren't born inherently knowledgeable on how to work out or how to eat. And so, consequently, all you're doing is taking some lessons. If you want to learn how to ski, you probably ought to take some lessons. Otherwise, you're going to, not be...
Or give me a call.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. And so, but that's lessons.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And, you're going to skydive, you're going to take a few lessons. And that's, I always say, everybody thinks that your dues that you pay, whether it's whoever's Joe's gym is, all you're doing is renting the facility and the equipment. You're not getting instruction. And you don't have to take instruction the rest of your life. It's like learn how to ski. I get to this point, well, hey, I'm comfortable. I'm having fun. And the same thing with personal training.
Yeah.
It's not like you have to have a trainer the rest of your life, but you should invest in yourself enough to get yourself started on the right foot, get yourself a habit.
I know that's where my biggest change. Gosh, so Allie's 17 now. So she was about 15 or 15 years ago at Club Apple, and I invested with Aaron, and he had me writing down every single thing I ate. And I had been in fitness or athletics my whole life, but I had everything, all the details. And still now I see him and I remember all the instruction, all the things. Because of him, I learned how to teach kettlebells and TRX, and just he fostered such a love of fitness and strength for me.
Yeah, I think that, can I be bold enough? You can correct me if you want to, but I would say it's training and education, but it's also accountability, because you have someone who cares about your success.
And that accountability that you talked about is a main factor too, right? Nobody wants to call in and they put down salmon and cod and tilapia is what they ate for dinner, but really it was donuts. And then when you have that weekly weigh-in and you're up on the scale and everything was detailed and laid out for you, that accountability factor kicks in, right? You don't want to be calling your coach or your trainer saying, oh, I lied to you and I did this kind of thing. So that accountability factor is huge too. But I think that it also sets everybody up for January. So that's why we offer those 2 sessions of personal training. But the more knowledge and people can get with exercise and dietary guidelines and that kind of thing too, it just sets them up for the future, right? Now you got the spouse that's eating better at the house. It might not even be a member of the club. The rest of the kids aren't a member of the club, but now dad's cooking the meals and now it just transforms it to the rest of the kids, right? So that's really what we're trying to come into, because that self-sabotage is real when mom or dad are working out, or it's vice versa, and one person comes home with pizza and one person's on a diet, it's self-sabotage, right? So if we try to get the whole family involved in some training aspects and some dietary rules so that the whole family's eating like that. Now you're seeing some real changes throughout the whole family, and that word just spreads. And that personal training is guaranteed results. There's not really anything out there that somebody can guarantee you results, because if you follow that program to the T, then you're guaranteed weight loss, verbatim. So it's trying to get them into coordination with that. And like Steve was saying too, it might not take 15 sessions. It could take 1 or 2 to transition you into a good workout routine, because the biggest thing is 80% of people that come through our door aren't inherent on a workout program. They don't know what they're doing. So when they walk upstairs and they see all that weight equipment, the amount of people, it's intimidating, right? So the first thing they do is they walk upstairs, they get intimidated, they have no routine, they don't know what the heck they're doing, and they leave or they quit, right? And so then that New Year's resolution turns into a 1 month or a 2 month piece instead of a lifetime of changes. So the exercise and the personal training is very, it's fast, it's key. It gets them set up on a program.
Yep.
And everybody needs a program for everything, right? Goals, that's a big thing also.
Yeah. I'm so grateful that you brought that up, Steve. Also, I was just thinking about my experiences at Club Apple. If we have a pretty vast female audience, there is a women's only center at Club Apple.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
if you
that
don't
separates
feel, yeah,
us.
that's nice.
I mean, there is one other gym in town, but it's not as it's not as secluded, I guess, is what I'm saying. The women's area at Apple is right off the women's locker room.
Right.
Yeah, it's got really strict boundaries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
And it's well used, and we have quite a few people that always thank us, really, for having that area, and it's well equipped, so it's not an afterthought.
Yeah. All right. Well, what advice would you like to leave with our listeners, gentlemen? We're in the Wellness Month. Is there any additional advice you want to give to the listeners and about their potential?
I mean, he's like, start now. We got to start now.
Well, yeah, and we do have some, joining specials at this point in time. But I did mention about the personal training. We offer, upon joining, you get 2 free sessions with a trainer, and that's a good start right there. And
you guys do, I think you do free sessions to try Pilates too.
we do.
And bar.
There's a multitude of different things that you can sign up for that normally are an extra charge, but we have a free introduction of tennis lessons and Pilates and swim lessons and quite a few different things.
And pickleball.
Pickleball lessons, yes, correct. And so that's one of the other things that sort of separates us from a gym standpoint in town is we do have pickleball, and we have it at both facilities, both our tennis facility as well as our main facility and our gymnasium. So yeah, and it's quite popular.
And is there more? I know that we were wrapping this up, but expansion, like I feel like there's more stuff coming still with you.
Well, there's more stuff coming. The question is how soon. But one of the things that we needed was land, because to add on to our facility, we needed additional parking capacities. And I want to say that we have purchased 4 acres of ground. We spent almost $500,000. And
Pricey ground.
Yeah, and it's...
But parking's real. People work out there because it's hard to find a parking at certain times.
Yeah, and so we can't add more square footage and not add more parking spaces.
They're going to go up like a parking garage.
Yeah.
We thought
it.
about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about $20,000 per space.
For a parking garage.
Yeah, and we're talking another 100 spaces. I mean, it's just parking. It doesn't
drive revenue.
Yeah,
doesn't
you don't
drive
make any
revenue.
money off of it.
No.
Yeah.
I could see how you could get to the point where you're like, well, if you work out during these times, like the non-peak hours, you get like $5 credit in the
Yeah, there you go.
of a beverage or something
Get more people there at 4 a.m.
Yeah, to push that early morning or the dead
But
times.
I do want to say one more thing too. On our another big aspect of the club too is our seniors. So we have a huge senior market, right? And so insurances have now come on board to help subsidize the seniors through their Medicare. And so United Healthcare and their third party that's running their gym outfit as far as their rates and keeping track of their check-ins is called Renew Active underneath the United Healthcare. And then we have Blue Cross of Idaho, which is underneath this third party that's called AshLink, which is called Silver and Fit. And so we have a big thing on that too. So if these people qualify and they're on the what's called the Advantage program for their health insurance, then they're actually subsidized for free.
What year does
65 and
that
up?
start?
65 and up.
So
Yeah.
just 13 more years, Julie.
There you
We're
go.
so close.
Yeah. 65 and up, and so their membership is free. So it helps these people that are on SSI or they're on a fixed income on that kind of thing too. So it helps subsidize their gym membership for their insurance, their health insurance too.
Yeah.
So that camaraderie between the seniors has really grown too. I talked about the youth, but the seniors have really stepped up too, and I think that's been a big factor since COVID also.
And like Steve said, start now. Whether you're 62, 53, like start.
It all works
Get
the same.
going.
You're going to get
Body-
more days in the end the earlier you start.
Body's basically the same for everybody, and it responds to positive stimulus at any age.
Right. Okay, and the last thing I was going to say is you and I personally know several of the trainers.
Several, yeah. I feel
They're
like
great people.
I know them all, I feel like.
Yeah, I know people who teach classes. They're really great people. Like you guys have a great staff.
Well, thank you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I think they got a big they got a big gift too that they like giving. I mean, as a personal trainer, you'd want to give, right? I mean, you like to help people. That's why you signed up to do that. And I think they get a huge shout out and a huge aspect of really helping people, whether it's, like I said, weight loss or overall health and fitness too. And everybody wants to, give the trainer all the credit too, when it's actually the person that's doing it. They're just following the guidelines on it. But yeah, to be a trainer, it's a great thing, and they like to help. So
Awesome.
Well, I would say one last thing, and that is I have to give kudos to our staff because 40 years in business, a lot of businesses don't make it. And I would say that 90% of our success over the years have been attributed to our staff. They've been
I
outstanding.
think we've got close to 5 or 7 people that have been 20 years plus. We're coming up on 20.
I would
That's
say
awesome.
that too. Just the
Longevity.
from the person you first greet when you walk in. They're just friendly, and that makes a difference.
I think that's everything service.
So you truly encompass a place people's lives are enhanced. How about that?
Yeah. Well done. All right. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for joining us today on the We Share podcast.
If you've loved what you've heard, please give us a 5-star rating. Tell your friends and share this show.
You can also follow us for recipes, lifestyle and fashion tips, book reviews, and more on WeSharePodcast.com.
Join our Share Squad and sign up for our newsletter there.
We would love to connect with you.
We share on TikTok, Pinterest, Facebook, and Instagram. Give us a follow.
A big goodbye squeeze and sending you all our love from Alex and Julie.
Join us next week on the We Share podcast.